So I wanted to talk about the movie The Wiz. I think this is a great message. It is designed to speak in an esoteric manner, which I'm going to break down. The movie The Wiz, as I'm pulling from all of these different areas to explain to people about discovering the truth of who we really are, our seed self, our core, our divine self, this hero story in all of us is pulling from these different archetypes that can help us on our journey. Dorothy loves her dog, but she is not happy with her life. And she has a dream and goes on a journey and meets these companions. And on her path, there are specific stages of the hero journey. Something inside of us desires to expand and grow. The Wizard of Oz is a lesson in self-sufficiency. The lion wants courage and is routinely conquering fear.
You're right, I am a coward. I haven't any courage at all, responded the lion with tears running down his cheeks and his voice trembling. Upon finally meeting the wizard, the cowardly lion is introduced to lesson number 1. When the wizard says to the sheepish feline, "You're a victim of disorganized thinking." So much of our fear is a result of our own disorganized thinking. We replay negative tapes from our history that keep us in our cowardly state. These old messages keep us from making the big sale, or applying for that new job, or starting our own business, or simply standing up for ourselves. The wizard goes on to say to the lion, "Back where I come from, we have men who are called heroes. Once a year, they take their fortitude out on mothballs and they parade it down the main street, and they have no more courage than you have. Most likely the people that make the sale, get the job, start their own business, or stand up for themselves are or were just as scared as you are. The difference is they took action. They didn't let their fear stop them. They acted in spite of their fear. Fear is stagnant. Courage is action."
10 men wants a heart and is the kindest of them all.
Lesson number 2 is that courage is all about the heart. While the spineless lion received a medal to show his courage, he really should have asked for the same thing as the Tin Man, a heart. The root word of courage is cor, which is a Latin word for heart. In its original form, the word meant to speak one's mind while telling all one's heart. Courage is an inside job. The medal the lion had wrapped around his neck is an outside symbol. It will really do nothing to help him develop his inner strength if he needs to be more brave. Courage requires us to look deep within our soul, to be uncomfortable, and to make a hard decision. We can put all kinds of signs and symbols in our offices or homes that remind us to be more courageous. Ultimately, though, it comes down to our core, our heart, and our willingness to face our fears.
The Tin Man also represented one of the most important political subtones of the movie, which is the dehumanization of American factory workers in the United States as a result of the Industrial Revolution. During the time of the writing, which was the 1800s, that was a time where they experienced the final stages of industrialization and mechanizations in American labor, resulting in standards of living, work, and pay that were considered by many to be unacceptably inefficient. The Tin Man, once a healthy, strong individual, was depossessed of his limbs by repeated workforce accidents and has lost his heart, his love for his labor, due to the soulless conditions of modern mass manufacturing. The scarecrow, the smartest of them all, thinks he's in need of a brain. And Dorothy already has the means to get home right there on her feet.
There's this all-powerful rescuer, unseen behind the curtains, who is a fraud, unneeded. Everything they needed was already theirs. which brings us to lesson number 3.
Can you help me, please, Dorothy, as she encounters Glinda, the good witch, towards the end of the movie. These cries for help lead us to lesson number 3. You don't need to be helped any longer. You've always had the power to go home back to Candace, proclaims Glinda. I have? Queries Dorothy. Then why didn't you tell her from before? The scarecrow asks angrily. Glinda responds, because she wouldn't have believed me. She had to learn it for herself. And so it is with courage. We'll never know how strong and courageous we can be, or already are, without learning it for ourselves. Courage and believing in ourselves requires us to rearrange our disorganized thinking. They require us to examine our core and our heart, and to not look for something from outside to change us. Courage requires us to act. Others can encourage us, but no one can help us move from fear to courage. We must do that on ourselves. That is a hard decision. What courageous hard decision do you need to make today? The tornado, it represents suffering. The Tin Man represents humanity. The lion represents faith, belief. The dog represents unconditional love. The scarecrow represents awareness. And the witch represents fear. And Oz equals God within, enlightenment. So you have these 7 levels of yourself that you must master. Even at the beginning of the movie, it starts off from in black and white, and then it transitions into color. That within itself is an esoteric message. The Wizard of Oz looks at the hero's journey as it relates to the Wizard of Oz, and more importantly, how we are all on our hero's journey. As a part of this amazing introduction, it takes a deeper look at the meaning of the phrase, there's no place like home. Home is you. That's heaven. When you find yourself, you find heaven. Alright guys, this is all I have. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Tamarica's Productions. And if you enjoyed this video, I trust that you'll leave a comment and hit the like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe so that you'll be notified for more content like this. Thank you for all your support, and I'd like to give a special thank you to Universe for always supporting my channel. Also want to give a special thank you to Rex7 and Krista God. Guys, thank you so much for supporting my channel. Thank you all for supporting my channel. You all, I look forward to seeing you in the next video.